Welcome to Hatcher's Numbers. I'm Thomas. I'm here, my co-host,
Justin Kim.
and today we're gonna be, continuing our series of previewing the NFL season. Today we're gonna be going through the North teams. Um, but before we get into that, any news of note that you want to bring up? Got some injuries to kind of discuss, but yeah, I'll let you go first.
Oh yeah. One of them I have is J.K. Dobbins. He got re-injured today, and I don't know if it's big or not, but I mean, he said he was gonna play all 17 games, and he already got injured in the practice, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the ones I have, Laramie Tunsil, O lineman for the Commanders. He tore his tricep, I think, so he's gonna be out for majority of the season. That kind of sucks. We kind of mentioned the Commanders in the previous episode and how you were kind of high on them a little bit. You expected, the Commanders to do a little something. It's gonna suck that the highest paid left tackle in the league is gonna miss most of the season, if not all of the season.
Yeah. Are we just gonna keep going with Indy? Because I have
I mean,
like
if you have
more.
a couple more, yeah, we can just keep going with them.
Yeah, one of them is Luther Burden, a second year wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. Very explosive. He is expected to miss all of the off-season stuff, but is projected to come back for week one. So
Hmm
yeah.
Also, Devontae Smith. I saw like he got his hamstring issue, so he's missed a couple practices. Another big name there that we expect the Eagles to be pretty good. Um, we both mentioned that we expect them to have double-digit wins. So hopefully Smitty gets healthy. This hamstring isn't a big issue. It's just soft tissue injuries. They linger, so you never know with like hamstrings, quads, calf stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, with Smitty injured, that Mekhi Lemon is also injured. Both of them are like the wide receiver one and two is injured, so a
hmm
little something to worry for right now.
Yeah, and then do you have any more injury stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay, and then the big news over the last week, running backs getting paid. So we saw, I mean, we saw receivers get extensions too. I think Olave happened within the week. Zay Flowers, both of those guys well-deserved contracts. Both the guys are going to be either the ones or 1A, 1B type guys on each of their teams. Um, the Ravens have a little more expectations. We're going to talk about them today. Saints, not so much, but they're a young and upcoming team. So both guys well-deserved contracts there. Anything on those two guys, real quick?
Yeah, Zay Flowers got injured, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know what the injury is?
Not exactly, but I saw like on the
Okay.
IG.
I'll pull
Yeah.
it up. We can talk about it a little bit later. But and then the big position, the running backs, I just said. So Jonathan Taylor got paid.
hmm
Um, Bijan Robinson got paid, and then Jameer Gibbs got paid. All of them over 22 million per year. So, we've seen Saquon kind of lead the charge of the resurgence of the running back. Obviously, Kenneth Walker in the offseason got a bag. Rico Dowdle, I think he got a pretty good bag in the offseason. Um, Even Kenneth Gainwell, I think, coming off the season, I think he got a pretty good bag. But, the top of the market here with Taylor, with Bijan, with Gibbs, all of them getting, 20 million. I think, some new guys, I don't know if like you're looking at like who else is due for extensions, but some of the younger running backs, they reach these top levels, like they could be getting, 25 million after the running back stuff. So what are your thoughts on those three guys getting their extensions?
I mean, it's well deserved. They're all like I'll say like upcoming best running backs, like Jahmyr Gibbs. We'll talk about him later, but
Hmm
Monty left the team. That's all I'll say.
hmm
And Gibbs gonna have a lot more, like
Yeah.
playing time-ish, like more role on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'll just go back to Zay Flowers real quick. Quad contusion, so it's not quad strain, so that's good. I think he just got hit in the quad, whether that's, he hit the ground or something hit his quad. It's better than a quad strain. So we're pretty day to day there. I think he should be back soon.
hmm
And then the last little bit of news, not really NFL news, more our news, but we had our fantasy draft over the week. I know both of us are walked away pretty happy about that.
hmm
Um,
I
Anything on
mean,
there? Anything on there like regarding your team? You want
yes, I do.
to talk a little bit?
Like the official draft was so early that like I have like two, three players already injured.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
got injured?
Like this is like very concerning. I have Luther Burden, right?
Okay.
And then I have Malik Neighbors, was I
Well, we knew
think
Neighbors was hurt like coming into the draft, so he didn't get injured. He just was already
I
injured.
guess, yeah. Well, you'll count him too though.
Yeah, but
J.K.
like,
Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins.
okay.
Deshaun's dribbling. Okay, like dribbling and Malik Neighbors I knew, but Burden and J.K. Dobbins just got hurt out of nowhere. And I
Hmm.
think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, my team, Mahomes, I knew he was hurt like coming into this, so like I can't he didn't get hurt. But outside of that, I mean I'm pretty healthy. Hopefully it stays that way. I'm pretty excited for my team.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice something about your team that you have your team. You could have named the Kansas City Chiefs at this point because you have Patrick Mahomes, Richie Rice, and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I mean you damn near can name your team like just the Broncos and Bears.
Yeah, I have four Bears player. Oh
Yeah,
shoot, I just
four
realized.
Bears players and what, two Broncos?
Yeah, but Jacoby Lane, he's about to go off this season. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it for news wise. We can get into our prediction or our previews for the AFC and NFC North. But we'll start off with the AFC, where the Cleveland Browns are plus 2,100 to win their division. Do you have some offseason? What do they do in the offseason, Justin?
I mean, I would say they managed the online pretty well. Where all of their online was their starting online was a free agent, I think, right? Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
and they managed that pretty well, I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for like the key, and then for the bet, I said losing Miles Garrett was a huge one, since he's like a record breaker and he's like the best D-line player ever,
Hmm.
and they got a unhappy Jervers. I don't know if Jervers is happy to be there, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, so their regular season predicted win loss like their over under right now is 5.5, juiced toward the over actually. So what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I went 7-10. I think
Okay.
they had like five win last season, right? Around.
Hmm.
And I think they'll be a improved team than last year, even though they lost Miles Garrett.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a question for you. How do you think this quarterback situation or not starts, but like it shakes out over the year? Do you think one guy starts the whole year? Do you think it's gonna be a combination of guys? Because what, last year they had three starting quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think this season it'll be I don't think Dylan Gabriel will start
I
or
don't either.
have
Barring
maybe
injury,
at
obviously,
most one game.
assuming no injuries. We'll assume no injuries. Assume everybody's healthy, right? Just we don't want injuries.
hmm I
Um,
At most I think Gabriel plays one game, but I think it'll be a mix of Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson.
okay. And what do you think? Who do you think starts? Who do you think finishes
From
out, or whatever however you think
from
breaks down
what
the
I'm
season?
hearing, I think Shedeur Sanders will start.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Shedeur Sanders will start, and I think Deshaun Watson will be the back. It's the
Yeah.
second string. Yeah.
So, what I'm gonna say is this, like, I think the idea is they're gonna alternate the starts in the preseason.
hmm
So Sanders might start one, and then Watson might start the other. It's kind
Yeah.
of funny though, like ESPN Cleveland has like a tracker on like the practice reps, which that's always funny, like, because practice reps you can't really use that to determine stuff, but it's like over the weekend I forgot what practice, but it said like Deshaun Watson had like 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then like it came out, oh, it was a red zone drill, so like yeah, he's gonna get 7 touchdowns. It's in the red zone. But
hmm
that's kind of funny. I personally think Deshaun's going to get the start. I think he's going to be on a very short leash though. I think if Watson shows that like he's not healthy, or he just isn't, back to what he used to be, I think they pull the trigger. They go to Shooter Sanders, let him start. But I do think it's safer to start Deshaun Watson, because I think if Sanders struggles, right, and then you pull him for Deshaun Watson,
Yeah.
you can't go back to Shooter Sanders, and like
hmm
that's going beyond this year. But if you say, okay, Watson's not it, you go to Shooter Sanders, you're not going back to, there's no reason to go back to Watson, obviously barring injury, you know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see how that shakes out.
Yeah.
I think Sanders starts, or not Sanders, I think Watson starts with Sanders being the guy like on a quick trigger. Now, that being said, I have them under this win total. I think they get 5 wins. Um, I'm gonna go through the schedule. I just want to get a gauge for like where you get your 7 wins, right? So,
Okay.
uh, I have them starting out 0-4 with Jacksonville, Tampa, Carolina, and Pittsburgh.
I think they'll get 1-1 there, to be honest.
Okay. Do you have them beating the Jets?
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Ravens, Titans, Steelers, Saints, and Texans. So the week 6 through week 10. Do you have them getting a win there?
My internet cut out. Can you
Yeah.
repeat?
Week 6 through week 10 with the Ravens, Titans, Steelers, Saints, Texans. Do you have them getting a win there?
A win or two,
Okay.
yes.
I
I
can
could
see them beating the
see.
Titans. Okay. Where's that second win? Is it Ravens, Steelers?
Okay, so that's week. You said week what?
Week 6 through week 10.
Week 6 to week 10. Okay, okay, okay. They could be the Saints, to be honest.
You think they beat the Saints?
I think. Yeah, I could see like the Titans one time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't division wise, I don't think they get swept. So like at most two around.
Okay.
Then yeah,
And then they have the bye week. Do you think they beat the Raiders?
yeah, I
Okay,
definitely that
so
could see happen.
is that 5 wins for you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then rest of the season, right?
hmm
Do you have them beating any of the teams? Atlanta?
I've been splitting with Bengals.
Okay. So
Yeah,
is that your 6 wins there?
yeah, and then
Okay.
I think I said the
I can
uh,
see them beating the Falcons. So
Falcons. Falcons,
my wins are
yeah.
here, okay? I think they get swept by Pittsburgh. I think they get swept by Baltimore, okay?
hmm
I can see them beating the Jets. I can see them beating the Titans, okay?
Yeah.
I can see them beating the Raiders. See them beating the Falcons, and then I can see a split against Cincinnati. Or
What
I don't know if I want to call it like
what about Tampa Bay?
I think Tampa Bay wins that. I just think Tampa Bay is more talented than the Browns are.
Let's see.
Um, but that's my five. That's where I see the 5 wins, and I
hmm
lean towards the under there. I have a hard time seeing them beating some of these like up and coming teams like the Giants, like the Saints. Um, I just think the Browns aren't there yet. Like their defense isn't great. Their O-line's patchwork, right? They don't have a quarterback right now, which, either one of them could be a good quarterback. But like their weapons on the outside are both rookies and Jerry Jeudy, who he's been on and off, right? Fannon's pretty good there, but I
hmm
mean that offense is not great. So
I
I,
mean, I think they're off. I like the offense a bit. You know, Casey Concepcion, Denzel, and then
my
you
worry is
got
they're both rookies.
Judkins.
They're both rookies that aren't first round rookies, right? You think about last year, right? Who were the rookie receivers that kind of balled out last year?
Shoot, the OSU guy. I forgot his name, but the OSU guy.
Emeka was a first round
Emeka.
pick.
Yeah.
Tet was a first round pick.
hmm
Outside of that, who really is like,
Luther Burden.
yeah, Luther Burden. I mean, my question would be like, what did Luther Burden do last year?
I don't know, but he was very useful on the team.
But
He
was
was
he
very
the,
helpful.
he had 652 yards with like
Yeah,
47
that's not
catches,
bad.
650, 60. I'm not saying it's bad.
652.
So,
I
okay,
mean, that's because he
because
started the season bad though, but
his line, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. His line is 47 catches, 652, and 2 touchdowns, right?
yeah.
Who's the one in Cleveland, in your opinion? Who's the number one receiver there right now? Is it
I think
Jerry
I just
Jeudy?
I think so for now, but I think I'll change to either Denzel or
Okay.
KC.
So Casey was a first round pick, right?
Yeah. Let me check.
My worry is just this. I feel like they're both rookies, so they're gonna start off
He is,
slow.
yeah.
I can see Casey having a good, rookie season, but at the same time, right? Emeka didn't get 1,000 yards. Only Ted did. So
True.
if your one doesn't get 1,000 yards, right? Where is this? where's this offense coming from? I'll pencil in, Harold Fannin for 1,000 yards. They lost Njoku, so their tight end room's Fannin. Their receiver room between Judy, Concepcion, and Boston. Do you
Hmm.
see? Do you see? 2,500 yards there.
Maybe like 2000-ish,
Two
but I
thousand
don't know.
yards, right?
Hmm.
And then their running back situation with Judkins, right? They have what? Dylan Sampson.
Yeah.
Like those are quality guys. But do you trust this O-line to protect, like to run for them? So like you're basically penciling in there maybe 5,000 yards on the season for like the total offense, right? And I don't see that
Yeah,
as
I
a team that
guess.
like a team that can like compete. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm
I
just gonna
see.
yeah. So like 2025, I just want to like put it in comparison, right? Total offensive like production wise, right?
Hmm.
The Browns had 4,456 yards total offense, right? And let's say they get to
Yeah.
5,000. Let's
Yeah.
say, you get 1,000 yard like you get 1,500 yards from your running backs, right? You get
Hmm.
2,500 from your receivers and then 1,000 from Fannin or your tight end group, right? That's 5,000 yards of offense.
Yeah.
That puts you at 26th last year. And that's being generous,
Dang.
giving them 2,500 yards on in the air, 1,500 on the ground,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Hmm.
I don't know. But
I see your point.
yeah, I mean, the Browns could break out. I'm not gonna say like, oh, they're not gonna be good, but like the upside there, it concerns me, right? Losing Myles
Yeah.
Garrett, they're bringing Jared Verse, but like that defense isn't the one, and that leads me to that point of they have 1.5 division wins there as the over under.
Mhm.
How many teams do you think they split with?
Two.
Two. So you have that over.
Hmm.
It's juiced to the
Yeah.
over a little bit, and like this is one I have less confidence taking. Obviously with my predictions, like schedule prediction, I went under 1.5, but I do think over 1.5 is not a bad spot to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we can move on to the next team. At plus 510, you got the Steelers, right? It's pretty much, an older team-ish. New head
Hmm.
coach in Mike McCarthy. What do you have for their offseason moves?
I just said improvement on offense and secondary.
Hmm.
Let me pull the thing out real quick. Well, one off my mind is that they got Michael Pittman with or not a draft, the trade
Hmm.
where Pittman's gonna be a very useful wide receiver in this group, in my opinion. And then they signed Rico Dowdle, who is also a very good running back, which is, I like this offense a bit more now.
Hmm.
And then they signed players like Jamal Dean and like Asante Samuel Jr. and Jaquan Brisker, which I think heavily helps the defense.
Yeah, I think they improved. I think they're really going all in for what's possibly Aaron Rodgers' last season. Um, yeah, I mean, in terms of like over-unders, they have it at 8.5 wins, right? Mike Tomlin never had a losing season. So if this was Mike Tomlin, obviously hammer the over. But with Mike McCarthy, the under is juiced right now. So do you think they finish over 500?
I had 9-8, so yeah, I think they go over, but I think I'll be close.
I'm struggling to find wins here. I mean, this is tough. Like, we'll go, game by game here. Um, Atlanta,
I think Atlanta will be a W. I'll
okay.
be close though.
New England,
L.
uh, Cincinnati.
Split.
Okay, Cleveland.
Split.
So that's 3 wins right now, right?
Yeah.
Indianapolis,
Win.
Tampa,
Win.
okay. New Orleans,
Win.
Eagles,
L.
Broncos,
L.
Texans,
L.
Jaguars,
L.
Ravens,
I want to towards a split.
a split, okay.
Yeah.
Panthers,
Win.
okay. Titans.
Win.
So that's 9 wins there. This is a really tough one. I don't know which way I'd lean there. That end of the season stretch is a lot of L's after their bye week with like the Eagles, the Texans,
Eagles,
Broncos.
Broncos, Texans, Jaguars, Ravens.
That's a tough stretch. I mean, you mess around, you lose your morale there. You might lose to Tennessee at the end of the season if you're not in a good spot. If you don't take care of some of the earlier wins, like
True.
Indianapolis,
Like
the
the
Saints, the Bucks, you lose one of those games, like that's tough to finish over 500 there.
yeah.
I don't like this one
See,
at all. And then their
I don't
division
know.
win total is oh
I
sorry, go ahead.
trust the Steelers.
See, that's the thing. I
I
trust the
trust the
Steelers,
Steelers,
but
too.
I don't know if it's trusting like Tomlin or if I trust the brand of the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Like I can definitely see them going 10 wins, win the division again,
Yeah,
right? Like I can see them,
yeah. Hmm.
sweeping the Browns, maybe even sweeping the Bengals or whatever. At the same time, I can see this team falling apart by that Eagles stretch, like the stretch where like it starts with the Eagles. Like like if that team's,
Nah, nah,
500
nah.
around
That
there,
Bengals, the
the
Bengals
Bengals.
stretch. Yeah, starting from the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, starting from the bank like, after that bye week in week 9, like if they're 500 around there, right? Let's say, they lose to the
Hmm.
Patriots, they lose to a Bronco, no, Bronco, they lose to the Bucks, and then they like lose to the Colts, right? They're 5-3 going to there.
Hmm.
I can see like six, maybe, six straight losses there before the last 3 games. So I don't know.
Because Bengals, Eagles, Broncos, Texans, Jaguars, Ravens,
Those are all like
and
playoff
Panthers are not
caliber
even.
teams. Yeah, I didn't even put the
Yeah,
Panthers in there.
Panthers are somewhat gonna be good this season too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough stretch. And it leads me to this, 2.5 division wins. What are your thoughts there?
That's splitting against everybody, right?
Yeah, splitting against everybody. I mean, you get a sweep. All you have to do is win one more out of the last four.
Yeah, I see it. I see it happening.
I do too. I think this is over. Like
I had
over
them
two and a
splitting
half is
against all of the teams. So,
okay. What if I change it 3.5? Do you see them sweeping a team?
my internet.
Like I don't know. I think 3.5 is gonna be tough. Um, if I over 2.5 right now is really like dead end. It's minus 180, so like it's not a good bet. Uh, would you go to 3.5 if you had the chance? No, you wouldn't go over 3.5.
Wait, 3.5 division, right?
Yeah,
I was like cutting out. I'll
yeah.
probably not. Yeah, probably
Hmm.
not.
Okay. We can move on now. Um, we head over to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are plus 184 to win the division. Yeah, what did they do in the offseason?
I just said that they had a improvement on defense because the Bengals, their offense is always top three, top five-ish range,
Hmm.
and their defense is always like mid. I like that they brought in Dexter Lawrence, Boya Mafe from the Seattle Seahawks, Jonathan Allen, and like Brian Cook. I think that really helps the defense.
Hmm. This team's over-under is at 10.5. Juice to the under a little bit. What are your thoughts on this?
I would smash the over.
You think so?
Hmm.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
a
looking at
huge
the
Bengals
schedule.
guy this season.
I'm looking at the schedule. This is a lot more easier to find wins. Um, I would probably lean to the over 10.5 as well. They do get a pretty easy schedule. I think they can sweep the Browns. I know I said like I can see the Browns taking like a split against the Bengals. But I can also see the Bengals sweeping the Browns. So it goes either way there. But even without that Browns, even if they lose week 18 to the Browns, I can see a lot of wins there. I can definitely see them splitting against the Ravens and Steelers. They get the
Hmm.
Titans, they get the Jaguars, or not Jaguars, the Dolphins, they get the Falcons. Commanders could be a team, the Saints could be a team. Um, yeah, I can see a double-digit win season there. Get it over to 11. Um,
Yeah,
their
for sure.
their division win total is 3.5. What are your thoughts on that one?
Sweeping a team and then
Hmm.
I'll lean towards the under, in my opinion, yeah.
Okay. This one's pretty even. I lean toward the over. I think they can find four division wins there. It'll be interesting though. And
Yeah, I think
then
it'll be close for this one.
yeah, last team in the division, the Baltimore Ravens, they had quite an interesting offseason, you know, for maybe a day or two they had Max Crosby, but they no longer do. What do they actually have in terms of offseason moves?
Yeah, I mean, they brought in they brought in Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals, which is like the same as bringing in Max Crosby, I'd say, but it was a very good move. And then I just like the resigning of Iwazu, the cornerback. He is a pretty solid cornerback. And other than that, I think it's just like a kind of like a quiet offseason.
Hmm. They do have a new head coach in Jesse Minter. So they move on from Harbaugh. New regime, hopefully get them into the playoffs. Their over-under is 11 and a half. This is a very high number in my opinion. But what are your thoughts?
Whilst down there and over
11 and a half.
11 and a half. I'll probably go under the 11 and a half.
Yeah, this one's hard.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would
know if I can
have.
find 11 wins here.
I had them 11 and 6.
Ooh, 11 and 6. Okay. So do you have them beating the Colts,
Yeah,
Saints,
yeah.
Cowboys?
I have them losing to the I um I have them losing to the Bills, splitting
Okay.
against all the three teams, yeah,
Okay, so that's
in the
four wins.
division.
Do you have them beating the Jaguars?
I think that's where I have them losing.
What
Yeah.
about the
Oh,
Chargers or
I
the
have them losing
Texans?
to the Bills and then the Chargers.
What about the Texans?
Shoot. I could see that as a loss too, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm seeing maybe I'm seeing I think I can see seven losses there. I just don't think a lot I would take the 11 and a half. I think because to go over you'd have to get 12 wins. I don't think I can see 12 wins there.
Yeah. There's
Um,
their what is called their schedule's pretty hard.
mhm. And then three and a half division total. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah. I'd probably go under since I went under with the Bengals as well.
Yeah. I'm probably going under there as well. Um, that wraps up the AFC North. We'll move on to the NFC North, which is arguably one of the best divisions, top to bottom in football. So we'll start off with the team that has a plus 510 odds to win the division, the Minnesota Vikings. Um, pretty, you know, pretty big offseason for them. They made a big move there. Why don't you give us a little breakdown of their offseason?
Hold on, hold on. Let me restart my thing real quick.
Okay.
Like he's like pause, like you keep pausing. Bro, what? This thing keeps cutting out. Alright. Okay, so the Vikings, I like the way that, they fixed the offense. They brought in Kyler Murray for a 1 year deal, which gives time for JJ McCarthy after that disaster season, in my opinion. And they revised Aaron Jones, which is a decent, and then they also signed Juwan Jennings, who was a helpful piece for the 49ers.
Yeah. Um, right now their line is set at 8.5. So, what are your thoughts on that? You think they can get to over 500 this year?
I'm a huge I hate the NFC North, but I'm a huge Vikings fan this season. I'll say
Hmm. What are your thoughts on the over under there at 8.5? you think they get over that number?
Yeah, I mean, I went with 10 wins and 7 losses.
Hmm. I think I like that number as well. I think I can find I think I can find, 9 wins in there. Um, with the quarterback situation, do you think Kyler wins that job?
Definitely. I think Kyler Murray is a clear favorite
Hmm.
because I sh- I don't know, but I saw like in IG that Kyler Murray's taking majority of the QB1 snaps and
Hmm.
that DJ McCarthy is probably gonna be second string, yeah.
Yeah, I also think do you think Kyler plays the whole season there?
I
Like
mean,
if he struggles, do you think they go to McCarthy or do you think they let Kyler kind of get the season?
I think they'll like Kyler get the season, but I mean, if the Vikings are doing bad, I see them pulling him out for JJ, but
Hmm.
I have them having a good season, so I don't think
Yeah.
they'll take him out.
Yeah, you're right. Reports from camp, Kyler is taking the first team snaps, but the competition's not over. I've heard JJ might get a start in the preseason. They'll have this QB competition go into the preseason to see, who is better in this offense. But either way, I do like KOC's offense. I think this is still a quality team, and I think they made enough moves to compete in this, tough division. Um, this is
Hmm.
a very tough division for me to like see like wins. Um, almost everybody is, either 2.5 or 3.5. So the Vikings are at 2.5 division wins, and it's pretty much even split, like 50-50. What are your thoughts there?
2.5. I'll probably take the under. I just think that they're gonna get swept by one of the team, either the Bears, Packers, or the Lions, and other I think they split.
Yeah, I think they go split all three. I can see this division splitting every game. So with that being said, I'm gonna go over the 2.5 there. I just don't know if we can split like, or if I can pick a sweep with any of these three teams. Next, we got the Chicago Bears. They're actually third, and they're plus 305 to win the division. After a dream season last year, they come back and they're third favorites in this tough division. What are your thoughts on their offseason?
Yeah, I mean, they signed Kobe Bryant, which is a huge move. They signed a fan favorite linebacker Jack Sanborn. They signed Devin Bush as well. I think I'm fine with the way they adjust the secondary, but the I'm just mad that they didn't really adjust the defensive line sidewise, just
Hmm.
because Chicago has always been like the worst, or not worst, but like they're always like bottom tier of pre- pressuring the QB, and that's been a huge part. But I'm fine with the way they adjusted the secondary, the part people were worried about, and so a good draft, I'll say.
Yeah. Um, I mean, their secondary still worries me. Kobe Bryant did get hurt, but there's a chance he doesn't miss too much time. But like you said, I think they have the worst D line in the division, and their O-line, they're gonna be missing one of their starters who tore his Achilles during the postseason. Um, it's a team where, I don't know if they have the same success they had last year. Their over-under is 9.5 wins here. So what are your thoughts here?
9.5. I'll say over.
Okay, so that's two teams you say have double-digit wins in this division?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. This is one where I might lean the under here. I'm looking at their schedule and I'm having a I'm seeing wins, but I don't know if I can get it to 10 wins, right? Um, Especially because I see them splitting
Yeah.
with I see them splitting the whole division, And then their out of division stuff is tough, right? I think they can beat the Panthers. I think they can beat the Jets. I think they can beat the Falcons. I think they can beat the Bucks. So that's 7 wins there. The Saints, they're iffy. I'll give you the win there for the Saints. And then the Dolphins is the sixth there. I don't know if I can find a seventh non-divisional win there, especially if they split that. Um, so with that, I'm gonna probably lean the under. I can definitely see them 9 wins there. I can even see them making the playoffs. But with 9 wins, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can like lock in the 10th win, especially with the tougher schedule this year than they had last year. Um, Justin's cutting in and out, so I'll kind of run through the rest of the division here. The Packers at plus 225 to win the division. They didn't have much of an offseason. They, obviously traded their pick for Micah Parsons. They didn't bring in much. They did lose Romeo Dobbs. They lost Dontavian Wicks, but in my opinion, I think that's actually a good thing. Kind of focus on their top three receivers there in Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, and Christian Watson. I don't think having that many receivers was that much of a benefit. Their over/under is 9.5, and I think this is similar to the Bears. I might lean the over with the Packers though because they do have some easier teams on the docket, but 9.5 is definitely a number I can see them hovering right around. Um, Same thing, they have 3.5 division wins for the Packers. That's one where I would lean the under here. I just think I probably see them splitting that. Um, yeah, seems you're back. Any thoughts on the Packers this season?
Bro, this actually is so I I don't know if you guys hear me, but I'm leaning towards the under. It's cutting out and off, but I'm leaning towards the under. I have 9 wins and 8 losses.
Yeah. And then the favorites to win the division, the Detroit Lions. What do you have for their offseason thoughts?
Hmm?
The
Off-season
offseason,
thoughts
yeah.
for the Packers.
No, for the Lions.
I mean, for the Lions, they're just a healthy team again, unlike last year. Let me make this quick. They have a new OC, and they signed a bunch of new. They signed or they re-signed a bunch of players, and then one bad news is that Terran Arnold, who's a very good player, just got arrested and got cut from the team.
Yeah, 10.5 wins. I'm leaning over here. They have a last place schedule, so it's gonna be pretty easy here. I think I would hammer this over 10.5. And then 3.5 division wins. This is one where it's tough. I'll probably stay away, but I said I'm gonna have every team splitting, so I will take the split for every team. I'll take the under there. I'd stay away though. Lions, I definitely think are the favorites to win the division. If I had to pick a division winner, as we are doing. Um, my division winner is going to be the Detroit Lions at plus 170. What is your division winner? I have an idea. I think I know who was going to have.
Who do you think it is?
I think you're picking the Green Bay Packers.
I don't.
I think you're
No,
picking the Green Bay.
I'm not. In fact, I have them being the last place. If you guys could hear me, I have the Lions as the first, Bears, and then the Vikings, and then the Packers. Yeah.
Hmm. And then who do you have winning the AFC North? We didn't really get to it, but what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I have the Bengals winning, then the Ravens coming second, then the Steelers, then the Bengals, or then the Browns. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning the same way. I think the Bengals win this division. I think they finally get right. After the last couple seasons of injuries, couple seasons of tough defense, I think they finally get right. And they take this division. Make a deep playoff run here. Um, that'll wrap up the episode. Obviously, Justin's having some tech issues. We'll try to get that fixed by next episode. But next time we'll be doing the AFC and NFC South. A couple of divisions that, aren't as good as the ones we discussed today, but they're divisions in NFL. They can win a Super Bowl. All eight of those teams, could make a run. So we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Yeah, go Bears.